Okay. Let's start now. A warm welcome to Abode Masters, Brother Huang, Hualien Dharma team, and brothers and sisters around the globe to Saturday Hualien Dharma Talk. A very good morning. Let us start the session for today. Today, I would like to share a short accepted Master's teaching, upholding purity, walking the right path. The Buddha came to this world for one great cause, to teach sentient beings the Bodhisattva path and guide them onto the right way. Each person carries karmic causes and affinities from past lives. How did we come into this world? How long will we stay? Even our parents cannot decide that for us. Ultimately, it is up to us alone. We must cherish the Dharma lineage we have received. Will we allow it to become defiled, or will we keep it pure? To uphold purity is to stay firmly on the right path. Written for Master's teaching and is accepted by Sister Su Ching from Su Ching, Singapore. Now let us send our sincere prayers into the 10 directions. May the Sangha land be free from disaster and peace prevails in the world. Let us sing the prayer song with sincere piousness.
In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. All my heart is filled with sincere prayer. From all corners of the world, let us join our hearts and pray for a world of harmony and peace. In my heart, I feel deep gratefulness. May all the Buddhas hear my prayer. All united with one heart, let us end our hate with love. May there be no suffering hereafter.
May all minds be purified. May there be peace in the community. May there be no disaster in the world. Now let us pray together for universal love and blessing. With loving respect, gratitude, and confidence, let us wish every person in our lives a healthy body, an enlightened mind, and a total fulfillment in universal love. Now let us expand this consciousness to include every person in the world, every being in the universe. Let our unified love make this wonderful world even better. Let us all immerse ourselves in the joyful embrace of universal love. Before we hear the wonderful sharing, let us invite our board masters to lead us in paying homage to the Triple Gems. Let us pay our respect for these teachings and explanations to the Buddha and Master Cheng Yen by making 3 sincere bows. Please rise, palms together. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our beloved abode masters who could join us today. Okay, today we have 3 sharers. Brother Joe Huang, as usual, will be sharing on the Dharma Insights. And I will be sharing on the gratitude in Bodhgaya, learning to serve and love with a pure and expansive heart. And followed by Sister Sharon, Frazer, sharing on reaching the unreached, bringing love and care to communities through mobile medical outreach in Eswatini. Okay, now let us invite Sister Su Ching for the weekly summary. Sister Su Ching, over to you.感恩.
Thank you so much, Sister Lily. Okay, last week, Brother Joe Huang spoke on Dharma Insights. Brother Joe recalls when our sutra journey first began. 34 sessions now, each shaping heart and hand. Master will soon travel across Taiwan's land, but the Dharma learning will firmly stand. No right or wrong in Dharma's flow, only depth, wisdom, and space to grow. Teachings must suit each mind and ear, for truth that's spoken may still be unclear. Buddha spoke wisely, knowing time was short. Disciples must build on what he taught. Truth was not made but simply revealed, laws of nature gradually unsealed. Each heart and mind must open wide, to learn, to teach, to walk beside. Truth cannot be boxed, named, or pinned. It is not color, shape, nor wind. Neither this nor that, the Buddha would say, guiding us gently along our way. Like red to the blind, the meaning can't be told, but lived experience quietly bold. And then we had Sister Ho from Singapore, and she spoke about being tempted by tempeh. Sister Su Ching struggles with iron and low energy. Tempeh restores her strength naturally. A gift from Indonesia rich with law, fermented soybeans with nutrients to the core. Fermentation breaks food down with gentle might, making nutrients ready for the body's delight. More iron than meat, yet gentle on the gut. No salt, no cholesterol, a cleaner cut. Its enzymes support digestion with steady flow, easing the stomach, keeping bloat low. Zinc-rich bites to boost the brain's sharp light, lifting fog and helping thoughts take flight. Omega-3 builds links in the mind, while protein helps body and soul align. Low fat and fiber keep the heart in tune and aid digestion morning, night, and noon. Kids grow strong with minerals well fed, and tempeh tastes great in rice or bread. With rising awareness, the youth now say, tempeh's true power is here to stay. And then we had Sister Stupid from Hong Kong, and she said, introduced by her sister, Sister Stupid found a new way. From 2017 to now, she walks it every day. In 2021, she took on the role of lead, serving through a pandemic, meeting every need. She reached the homeless, taught kids with care. In giving to others, she found love there. Fell sick at camp, but love held strong. That warmth from seniors stayed with her long. In Hong Kong, she met the weak and poor, linked the sick to doctors, healing at the core. A woman in pain, hurt by family strain, she taught her English, helped ease the pain. An earthquake in Hualien shook the land, but she stood steady, heart in hand. Each action now holds deeper meaning. kindness and duty constantly leaning. She feels more love for friends and kin, Ziti's her family, strength from within. Once tired, unsure, now filled with might, she wakes with purpose and sleeps with light. Thank for listening. I'll stop sharing right now. Hand over to, is it Brother Chin? Yeah, to introduce the next speaker. Over to you, Brother Chin.
Thanks, Sister Su Ching, for the wonderful summary. Welcome everybody again to this Saturday morning sharing session from Hualien. Right, we, as mentioned earlier, there are 3 sessions this morning. We'll begin with Brother Joe. Will be guiding us with the Dharma Insights. And Brother Joe, we look forward to your sharing and continuation where you have left off last week.
Okay, thank you, Brother Chin. Good morning, everybody. It's wonderful to come to this platform and share my thoughts and what I have learned from the Sutra of Infinite Meanings. And thanks to Sister Su Ching's recap of the previous week, I think it's always wonderful to have a recap and remembering what was said and what was shared. I think it's just as Master said, that we need to account for what we have done and what we have learned. And I think every week doing so is a testament of how we have progressed and what we have learned. So it is important to remember the steps that we have once tread, and as a way of making sure that we're on the right direction, that we're on the right path. So thanks to everybody that we are holding fast, and we are holding steady this path. And very soon, I think in 2 days, if everything goes okay, Master will be taking this trip, and I can imagine that it is going to be very difficult. In fact, just this earlier this week, I think it was actually it was last weekend. There were still, I think there were still some issues with Master having a fever, and there were still thoughts about, are we going to make this trip, or should we postpone it? And there are the medical team, and the medical team recommended that the trip be postponed. But we know Master. I think Master is thinking, Master did say that she wants to make sure that we hold true to the schedule. Now, even though we mentioned that it is perfectly okay that we can just reschedule many of these events, but Master wanted to make sure that this trip remains as is. Now, why am I sharing this? Because I think there's something in here. I think, first of all, obviously, there's this sense of urgency. There's this sense of Master wanting to make sure that she gets this opportunity. But I think there's a lot more on the deeper level. I think Master is showing us that sometimes once you are all geared up and prepared to go, Master is trying very hard. I don't want to say work out every day, but she's preparing her stamina, preparing her energy level, so that she will have enough energy to go through this very difficult 3 weeks. That's going to be very taxing, and Master knows this. And you could tell that Master is working hard toward this goal. I think last time I went to speak to Master, I remember waiting for Master for, she was walking and, taking her daily, trying to accumulate and stockpile more stamina, if you will. And she was doing a lot more than what I remember before. She was doing a lot more without usually after about 2 or 3 laps, she would be thinking, Master would say, that's enough. Let's begin today's work, begin reporting. But that day, I think there must have been, I think more than 10 laps. And it was, just not stopping. And you could tell that there was a lot of determination that goes into this. And the reason being that when you have this goal and you are all geared up, all fired up for this, if somehow this particular goal is postponed or shifted or changed to whatever capacity, I think there is a lot more, you sort of douse, you sort of put some sprinkle, water on the flame. And even if it did not put out the flame, you lower the temperature around such that there's a risk that, it gets so low that even if you don't put out the flame, it doesn't ever make fire again. And I think there's an understanding in that, you strike the iron while it's hot, and while you're all geared up, the moment you try to put it, you try to make it cold again or make it cool down again, it's going to be very difficult to pick it back up. And I think Master believes that too, because I think, she's worked very hard to try to raise her stamina level. And as soon as this gets postponed for, say, a week, it actually, I don't think it's going to help anything, because I don't think this week is going to be any more prepared than next week. And so, but mentality wise, it's going to drop down. So I think it's the same, that in the way of our cultivation, the path of our cultivation, we want to keep on pressing. The moment that you think about, let's take a break, that's the moment you're not really going flat. You're actually sliding down. The first time you take a break, you're sliding down. You're not taking flat, you're sliding down. And it's so easy to take that second break and the third, and eventually it becomes the norm. And that's why, it's not like you want to take a break. But Master told us that you want to keep yourself in motion so that you're always driving forward, but you change your things that you're working on so that you make yourself think that you are sort of resting, but in fact, you are still moving forward. And I think in the way of cultivation, it is the same way. So that's why Master always talks about the 4 missions, where, you don't really wait until one is completed. You don't really wait until the mission of charity is completed. Then you begin. You sort of have to, while charity slows down, you pick up medicine. You continue this journey. Anyway, that's something that, I just thought about because we were preparing the trip that's going to happen on Monday. And I do hope that it will continue. The preparation goes as planned, and we would have a very healthy, a very joyous journey. And I hope everybody to be able to go online and participate when we can. Okay, I understand it's going to be busy. It's going to be during the work time, but if you can, participate. If you're able to, go online and see how Master is doing. And that will be, you'll be mostly very, very welcome. All right, so let's move on to today's content. So we'll always be covering what happened previously. And I wanted to more summarize all the things that we said before. Before, we used to go through every section, we go through it a lot more slowly. But today I wanted to sort of really more summarize where we are. So where we were, the first two sections of the chapter Virtues, there's a lot of people coming, right? Whether you're talking about the disciples that follow, or you're talking about the people that gather to see the Buddha. Whatever you're looking at, it is really telling you that the Dharma is the answer, or it's the guide. It's going to guide us for all sentient beings, and for all different backgrounds, right? All these people, we all have different backgrounds. We all have different thinking. We all have different thoughts. We all have something that makes us unique. But Dharma is going to guide us to the answers. And the first two sections sort of simplify that, right? Sort of tells us that is exactly how it is, and symbolizes that all these different people of all these different backgrounds, all walks of life, and even all different realms in all sentient beings, that they could all seek out Dharma to help them get rid of their afflictions. And not only that, but Dharma is going to be there to guide us for now as well as the future. So the first two sections sets the ground for what we should know. And that is Dharma is the answer for all sentient beings. And it is the answer for now as well as the future. Or it has been the answer in the past. And it will be for now and for the future. So that's what the first two sections is really trying to set the ground, set the tone, so that we know that is going to be the case. For the next two sections, it's talking about the students, how they are learning. They are the students of Dharma. They are learning the Dharma. They are practicing the Dharma. They're walking the path, and how they have walked this path, how they have learned, and what they have learned. So 3 and 4 really talks about that these people have gone through a great deal and great effort to learn and to practice the Dharma that was taught, the Dharma that was the answer that was talked about in the section 1 and 2. So it's really contiguous, right? The first two talks about how it's for everybody, how the Dharma is going to fix things for everybody. And then the third and fourth talks about, well, then if you're the student of Dharma, how do you learn it? What is the attitude that you should have to learn the Dharma, to practice the Dharma? And that's where 3 and 4 comes in. It takes great effort. It takes a lot of time, and it takes somebody who is willing to open and listen. And that's what sections 3 and 4 is talking about. The students of Dharma, how they have learned and how they have practiced this Dharma that is the answer for all. So sections 5, 6, and 7 talks about the teachers of Dharma. This is important because in order for the teaching to be continuous for the future, because after all, section 1 and 2 talks about that the Dharma is going to work now as well as in the future for a different generation, for all different kinds of people, right? And so this needs to be continued. And 5, 6, 7 talks about that the teachers of Dharma, students must learn to become the teachers in order to continue it. And this requires a change of mindset. And this is what we talked about, right? it's going to be very different to be a student than to be a teacher. And therefore, the focus is going to be very different. And I think it brings back to the importance that the Sutra of Infinite Meanings focuses on this, focuses on being the teacher, right? That's where infinity comes in, where because there is all infinite types of people, of infinite background, of infinite number of combinations, where everybody's background, where everybody's everything, when they all get put together, makes everybody a unique individual. And because of that, the learning experience is going to be very different person to person. Therefore, as a teacher, you would need to be prepared to teach all these magnitude of people, all these different varieties of people. And that's going to be very important because it's going to come in and it's going to be that you're going to have various ways for all these different kind of people, infinite combinations of backgrounds, of learning capacities, of the past experiences, of their past karma, and of all the affinities that everybody's having. That's all different, right? So the focus of the sutra is really, really beginning to peak here. It's really, really beginning to shine here. It's going to focus on the teachers, how to become the teachers. Before we talk about the prevalence and the importance of the Dharma, and we talk about the students of Dharma, how they have worked hard. Now, even if you work hard to be a student, you still need to make sure that you work hard as a teacher. And it's going to be very different than, from a student than a teacher, right? So that's why 5, 6, 7 is now beginning to shift the tone to say, well, actually, while you work very hard as a student, now you're going to be completely different skill sets, completely different toolboxes for you to become the teacher. That's 5, 6, and 7. Now, 8, 9, 10, and 11 are actually going to be the praises. And this is where I'm going to summarize all of this. Where I'm going to summarize, we've just gone through 8 and 9, right? The neither existent nor non-existent. We're just basically going through summarize, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And even though this all seems to be the praises for the Buddha, right? The neither existent nor non-existent. But I thought about it, and if you look at the entirety of it all, it's actually the praises for the triple gem, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And it's a praise for the Buddha's three form, which is going to take place in sections 10 and 11. Okay, so we're going to head into this now. So I've done this summary for all the sections coming up to this. And I hope that, we sort of speed up on the summaries. And I think that this is important. Before we head into the content, I wanted to say why it is important for the praises. Now, we already set the goal, right? The goal was if Dharma fits all people and you work hard and you had to learn hard to be the student. But now, not only are you the student, but now you have to think about being a teacher. You had to learn the ways to teach. Not only are you remaining as a student of Dharma, but you're going to become the teacher of people, of sentient beings. And because there are infinite number of sentient beings that need your teaching, so you're going to be the teachers of infinite combination of capacity of people, of sentient beings that you're going to teach. And that's the preset. Now comes, well, who can do that? Who does that? Well, our Buddha does that. But is the Buddha the only person that does that? No. there are others. There are other members of the Sangha that's also learning very hard as a student, that's also learning to be the teacher. And so this becomes the summary of all the things that come beforehand. This becomes the praises, the reciting, the repetition of what came before. And it came as a way of praises. So now let's take a look. All these are the praises for the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. So in section 8, this is the praise for the Buddha. In section 8, it's called the Great Lord of Sages. In section 9, it's the neither existent nor non-existent. It's actually the praise for the Dharma. And section 10, where we're about to head into, it talks about the praises for the Sangha. The section 10 is 32 marks and the 80 characteristics. Okay, so when we first talk about section 8, why is it the praises for the Buddha? Well, this is part of the sutra. It talks about supremely great and greatly awakened, the Lord of sages, with no defilement, no contamination, and no attachment. And what this is talking about is, this is the Buddha's achievements. No defilement, no contamination, no attachment. These are the achievements, what the Buddha had accomplished as a student of Dharma. Okay, so through lives, through different incarnations, through all these lifetimes of learning and practicing, the Buddha had achieved no defilement, no contamination, and no attachment. It's greatly awakened. And these are the personal achievements that the Buddha has. So we continue, right? He trains heavenly beings and men like a trainer and elephants and horses. This is talking about becoming the great guiding teacher. So not only the Buddha had great personal achievements as a student, as a learner and practitioner of the said Dharma. Remember, there's always two sides. You can be a wonderful practitioner. You could learn and practice the Dharma fully well on your own. And that's your personal achievements. You can achieve getting rid, you can get rid of your afflictions. You can get rid of all these negative things. You can become the wonderful Buddha. You can be the greatly awakened individual. But that was remaining on the level of being a student. However, there is also the level of being a great guiding teacher. And that was mentioned in this particular passage, where we talked about the Buddha trains heavenly beings and men like a trainer of elephants and horses. Because at the time of India, the trainer of elephants and horses are probably regarded as one of the most important jobs as a trainer, not just a teacher, but a trainer, because elephants and horses are very difficult to train, much more difficult than people. And that's why it's mentioned here as something that the Buddha was able to train all these very, very wild animals, symbolizing people. And it's very difficult, right? But still being able to train. So this is the part, this passage talks about that the Buddha wasn't only just a very learned student in the Dharma, but also becoming the great guiding teacher. Now, this is talking about many, many different generations, many, many different incarnations of the Buddha. I don't believe it just talks about this particular incarnation. It's not talking about now this specific person that is the Shakyamuni Buddha. I believe this is talking about what the Buddha has already achieved and achieved through all this lifetime. Right now we're seeing is just the end result of all its past cultivations, right? And not only is the Buddha a very diligent and very capable student of the Dharma and the practitioner of the Dharma, not only is the Buddha a great guiding teacher for all sentient beings, like human beings and also different realms. But the Buddha is also an impactful influencer. Now, that's more like a more contemporary term where we're talking about influencer. Why? Because in this passage, and we took some time on this passage too, his cultivation and virtues are like wind or fragrance that permeates everything. And these are in the passages that praises the Lord, the Buddha, right? That's why I mentioned it's actually all in there. And I'm trying to summarize this to show that all these things are the, sort of the summary of all the 7 sections that we see before in this chapter. So it talks about the Buddha being the wonderful student. This is what he learned and he practices. And the Buddha also is the great guiding teacher for all of us on teaching the Dharma. And not only that, but the Buddha is also an impactful influencer where he is able to influence all of us on the things that he teaches and on the things that we're learning. So not only are you a great guiding teacher, but you're also impactful in influencing everybody and guiding. So I think there's 2 different, very, very different parts. One is that you are a teacher, and the other is that you are an influencer in that you're guiding, you're shaping, you're guiding the entire civilization. Maybe you're not teaching. Teaching is more like, you're sort of giving people, telling people building their knowledge base and telling them what telling them that this is what you should do. Influencer is more like you are doing this. You are not telling people to do certain things, or people did not hear that you're doing certain things, but they somehow know, they somehow hear from you, they somehow hear from others what you are doing, and they are learning. They are being impacted. They're being influenced by you without you being a teacher. So teacher is more like we are directly telling people, sharing with people, guiding people, where influencer is more passive, where it goes around. I didn't talk to you. I didn't talk to them. I didn't try to fix their problem. I didn't try to give them answers to their problem, but they somehow hear about this. They hear this story. They hear about another person sharing, and then they sort of change themselves, right? All these are some type of guiding teacher. Yes, absolutely. But that's what all these praises are. This is the culmination, right? This is the end result. The thing is that if you do all these work, if you are very dedicated, and if you work hard, and if you remain persistent, you are going to become like the Buddha, where you are able to guide and teach, and at the same time influence those people who you did not have direct contact with. And that's Buddha, right? That's Buddha. Okay, so the praises for the Buddha was that, right? And then the praises for the Dharma is what? So his body is neither existent. So we've covered this for many, many sessions, right? All this talks about Dharma is always here. It was not created. It was not, when it talks about neither existent nor non-existent, means it's not created. It's not created by someone or somewhere or something, nor is it going to be destroyed. It's going to be always here, right? It feels like it's what we call in physics, like, right? The energy is always, the matter cannot be created. It cannot be created or destroyed. It's only a transformation, right? Energy is the same. It's a transformation, right? It changes its form, but it's neither created nor destroyed. I believe it's talking about the same as Dharma, right? It's the same. It has always been around, and it's not something that you create, and it's not something that you destroy, right? It's neither square nor round, neither short nor long. This is talking about it's not fixed to a particular form. It's not this, nor is it not that. It's not square, and we covered this, right? So I believe that section 9 is really attributed, to the praises for Dharma. It's trying to summarize all the things that we know as Dharma. And as time is coming up, hopefully next week we will move a little bit more further. But 8, 9, and 10 is really talking about the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And it's really trying to summarize and give us a better perspective of all the things that we have heard. Well, what is Buddha? What did Buddha accomplish? Well, Buddha accomplished a lot of individual feats, right? He accomplished that individually as a great cultivator and practitioner. He has great wisdom. But not only that, he also taught and guided all the sentient beings to follow his path. And not only that, even though he did not directly teach many people, his way of learning, of wisdom, impacted many, many more people and many, many more generations. That's all the praises for the Buddha. Okay, so the time is coming. The time is up. And I wanted to bring this is completely different perspective in going into the details. We're not going into the details of every passage, of explaining every single very minute details of all the sutra. But I'm trying to break this down into, systems where it's actually a very well-written book. And it's actually following a very set presets where it's telling you all these things and it's building up and it's giving you more evidence as we are piling up. And remember, the chapter 1 virtues, Buddha hasn't said anything yet. All these are setting up, building up to chapter 2, where Buddha is finally going to say something. Okay, so that's the sharing for today, and we're gonna stop here. And next week, I think we will be on the road, and we'll be on the road, and I hope that it will be a very safe and healthy journey, and I hope that we will have a very speedy return to Hualien, and hoping everything is going to be okay. All right, so I invite everybody to come online, and I invite everybody to follow the master around Taiwan in this trip, and I hope that we can all learn something in this trip. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Brother Joe. Can I just ask you a quick question, Brother Joe? When you learn the sutra information, do you solely rely on the Chinese version or the English version, or both?
I actually read both, but I think I absorb more from the Chinese version. But I do have both copies because I do need to the sharing is done in English, so I need to make sure that these terminologies are all matched up. So I use the translated version, but somehow I think it's the editing of the book. It makes it really difficult to read. So I read faster and absorb better in Chinese.
Thanks so much. Shall we
Thank
open video before Brother Joe goes off and we take a photo? Okay, our photographer, Sister Effie, Sister Lily, I presume. All right. Okay, excellent. Thanks so much. Now, next, we have none other than the Sister Lily, the co-host of this Saturday session, Hualien session. And so she's going to share about her trip. She spent a fair bit of time in Gaia. So her title of her session is Gratitude in Bodhgaya, Learning to Serve and Love with a Pure and Expansive Heart. Sister Lily. Okay, we can see your slides.
Okay. Cảm ơn brothers and sisters. Okay,感恩 for the opportunity to share. My name is Lily. Good morning to beloved Abba Masters, Master Cheng Yen, and brothers and sisters around the globe. Okay, before I start, I have been to Bodhgaya for 2 months, from March to middle of March until end of middle of May. Yeah. So today I'll be sharing on the Buddha Day at Bodhgaya. So for this year, we have the Buddha bathing ceremony at India's biggest reclining Buddha statue. So before that, the past 2 years, we have it at the Mahabodhi temple. But this year it wasn't available as they were already fully reserved for the Vesak celebration happened on the 12th of May. So with the blessing from Vipiling, we have the Buddha bathing in this biggest reclining Buddha statue in Bodhgaya. Okay, so this temple actually resided at Bodhgaya Bihar, was built by the International Buddhist Monk Training School with Bhante Aryapal Bhiksu serving as the founder secretary. Affinities with Tzu Chi, Bhante Aryapal Bhikkhu, the affinities with Tzu Chi, where does it start? So Bhante actually have attended the Tzu Chi Buddha bathing ceremony in 2024 at the Mahabodhi, and he was deeply moved by the spirit and presence of Tzu Chi. And last year, during his religious trip to Taiwan, he expressed a sincere interest in visiting a Tzu Chi Jingsi Hall, and he was able to visit the Guandu Jingsi Hall, which was the nearest to his location at that time. So when we approached Bhante that we would like to have the Buddha bathing ceremony at his temple, he was very graciously welcomed us and offered his venue to us. And he said, treating it as a home for Tzu Chi and a place for spiritual family. It is really heartwarming to hear this from Bhante. And 2025 marked the 3rd time Tzu Chi held a Buddha bathing ceremony with the participation of local and overseas volunteers. It was the first time to host in this reclining Buddha statue temple. And then due to the space constraint, the event was divided into 5 sessions, held both indoors and outdoors. Okay, let us watch a few video clips. Okay.
今年印度的浴佛典礼在菩提迦耶卧佛寺举办，还有一个亮点是主要筹备是首次由本土志工承担，也由慈青负责邀约村民准备经藏演绎。另外呢，慈济在当地开设的缝纫班也用毛巾折出了1300只的熊娃娃来作为结缘品。
挨家挨户要邀请大家参与浴佛活动，但在9成人口信奉印度教的菩提迦耶，不是件简单的事。
Sorry.
मतलब कि अदर कंट्री में जैसे जापान हो गया, चाइना हो गया,
जो सील दिए हैं इनको कोई आदमी सील पर चल नहीं पाया। जो सील हम लोग को तस्वीर दिए भगवान ने, वो सील पर कोई चल नहीं पाया।
得到的回应大多冷淡，但这群年轻人不放弃，身在佛陀的悟道之地，有必要让更多人知道佛诞节的意义。
They have their own tasks to do, but our local keep trying to encourage villagers to come forward and get this opportunity to create more blessing, to show more blessing in their life.
4, 2。
随着口令踏出步伐，他们是第一次参加浴佛活动。因而参加执训班认识慈济，在知道浴佛的意义后，态度不再是轻浮吵闹，从头到脚，甚至是手势都一一遵循。
The meaning of the ceremony. After they understand
परेशानियां हुई फर्स्ट टाइम में हमको समझ में नहीं आया कैसे कदम बढ़ाना है क्या करना है फिर यहाँ के जो दीदी लोग हैं सर लोग हैं वो बताए हम किए तो हमें बहुत अच्छा लगा और अब हम सीख गए हैं तो अब हमें थोड़ी अच्छी लग रही है
They don't know what is li, ko, su. But in Hindi I translate and make them easier.
for colors kappa.
志工青图则是第一次承担演绎种子老师的工作，不只是要事先熟悉手势仪态，还要用华文来呼口号，很有挑战，但也很有成就感。
Real challenge.
After that, I'm do the accent, and after my accent is very good.
I'm very enjoyed that.
Participants
I'm very feel happy because when I do something from in the Su Ching, just like any activities, so I really feel very good.
为了呈现最好，志工、慈青、资训班的学员们是用心来承担，设法克服困难。活动当天，1300份的结缘礼就靠这群裁缝班的妇女们用毛巾亲手折出来。
ये वाला बनाने ने हम लोग के बहुत तकलीफ लग रहा था कि हम नहीं बना ना पाएंगे। बनाते बनाते हम लोग लग रहा है कि आसानी है। अब बना रहे हैं 200 पीस बनाना है।
At first we thought we can't do it.
我们这是我们英语班的美女车。
一辆又一辆的嘟嘟车载着志工往今年的浴佛地点卧佛寺出发，个个是满心欢喜。打扫环境，张贴地标。因为这一年不同往年，他们不单是参与者，也是执行者，期待庄严的法会在佛陀的悟道之地能够唤起大家的觉醒。大爱新闻资深美职工袁淑珍、钟慧茹、阿马尔、王承轩，印度报道。
They look forward for the solemn Dharma assembly. Okay, so this is the preparation, Buddha bathing preparation done by our volunteers. Now let us watch another video. Okay, so this one with English translation. Preparation, the invitation for the villagers.
In the early morning of Salanja in Bodhgaya, smoke from cooking rise as women prepare breakfast. Volunteers take advantage of the time when residents are at home to invite them to join in the event.
Because of Buddha compassion, we build houses. So now we need to pay respect. Okay? Can you come now? Okay, cool. Because of Buddha compassion.
The Malaysian volunteer team, accompanied by villagers and local volunteers, translates on the spot and clearly conveys the meaning of bathing the Buddha.
दिक्कत यह है कि थोड़ा दूर पड़ता है, सबको बुलाना पड़ा, कोई आती है जल्दी, कोई नहीं भी आती है, उन लोग को समझाना पड़ता है कि वहाँ किस चीज़ का मीटिंग है, तो बोलना पड़ता है कि किस चीज़ का मीटिंग है, तो उन लोग को बताएं कि कहीं
为了要这感恩这上人也为了要尊重佛陀，那我们每一年的佛诞日都会邀请大众一起来忆佛，这些村民都答应都走过来，然后一起参与彩排，希望通过这样子的彩排，能够让当天的忆佛大典能够更庄严。
About 60 villagers understand the significance of the 3-in-1 celebrations through video explanations. This is the first time local volunteers take on the responsibility of arranging and coordinating the event. The chief coordinator, Deepak Kumar, faced challenges.
Also have to manage all the locals, staffs also, as well as local villager also. So what is actually I learned also.
现在开始每一天我们都会来村里面就是跟他们一起来陪伴他们练习。
In Bakra, volunteers from medical team also go door to door to invite villagers to participate in the annual event. Those who are interested could register immediately. Manish Kumar speaks fluent English and serves as interpreter. Since the local primary school is used as the venue for the Buddha bathing practice, volunteers arrive early and also serve as temporary teachers to help students revise their lessons.
We invited the villagers to join the Buddha's wedding ceremony, and actually today is a very good day for us, and we are very happy to invite the villagers.
During the practice, some women come with their children.
When I go to invite them, they are not coming on time. This is a very big challenge. And after then, they start saying that we can't stay too long. Sometimes they are not following instruction mindfully. This is also very big challenges for me.
To welcome and commemorate Buddha's birthday, His Grace, our parents, and all sentient beings, everyone practiced together, hoping to create the most beautiful scene in Bodhgaya. Reporter from India, Yuan Shuzhen, Zhonghuizhu, Chengxi, Dai News.
Okay, so we can see our volunteers have worked wholeheartedly with sincerity to invite and promote the Buddha bathing ceremony to the villagers. Next, let us watch this Buddha bathing, the video for the Buddha bathing on the 11th of May. Okay.
在印度的菩提迦耶佛陀悟道的地方，志工是选在印度最大的浴佛这个卧佛前面举行浴佛，还跟花莲道理广场同步来进行，有1300多人来参加。
The event was also online streaming.
台湾花莲7点，菩提迦耶早上4点半，在黎明即将到来的微光中，卧佛向前，56位法师与慈济人和全球同步同心礼赞佛恩，迎接佛诞节的到来。
The place of Buddha's enlightenment, Bodhgaya, India. So I feel very, very happy in my heart because I see Susi Foundation doing so many humanities working, so many helpful for the humanity.
这是第3年慈济人在菩提迦耶举办浴佛活动。今年的地点在印度最大的卧佛处国际佛教僧侣培训学校，总共要举办4场，有1300多人参与。其中来自斯隆家村的村民，更是一大早，妇女们就盛装打扮，坐着巴士前往会场，充满期待。
हर कोई के दर्शन करने के बुद्ध भगवान के नहीं मिलता है, नसीबे वाला के मिलता है।
देखने अच्छा लगा, बच्चा छोटा छोटा पढ़ा लिखा बड़ी अच्छा दिखाया। आए हैं बुद्ध भगवान के दर्शन किए, स्नान किए, अच्छा लगा, बढ़िया लगा देखे में।
还有120位学生参与手语演绎，走入经典故事，且全程用华文唱诵，对慈济也有更深的认识。
ये एक्शन के द्वारा नेपाल में फैला था उसके बारे में बताया जा रहा है और जब यहाँ पे परफॉर्मेंस करने के बाद सब चले गए तो फिर बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे यहाँ पे करने के बाद।
卧佛造像，双眼违和，灵境超柔，慈眼视众生。佛陀悟道之地再现庄严法会，菩提种子正如意，生无量。大爱新闻真善美志工吴姿贤、李美惠、袁淑珍印度报道。
The solemn Dharma assembly is once again brought to life. The seeds of Bodhi are now blooming into countless lives. Okay, next. So what do we do differently this year? So this year, the functional teams were led by the local volunteers and the overseas volunteers to provide guidance and support to the local volunteers. Okay, overseas volunteers refers to volunteers not from India, like from Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan. Okay, we are being referred as overseas volunteers. And for this year, our CEO have actually want all of us to stop mission work and focus on the planning and the preparation tasks for the Buddha bathing. So let's have the next. So you can see the overseas volunteers and local volunteers. So we have a pairing, like site planning. For example, Brother Go is the overseas volunteer and Brother Upendra is the local volunteers. So it was paired like this. and I'm one of the coordinators. And they were these 184 volunteers that they are the main powers, dedicated volunteers who supported the entire Buddha bathing ceremony. We are very sincerely grateful to the Su Ching members and the youth students. They are students from English class under the vocational training program who actively participated and willingly shouldered various responsibilities. They overtook key tasks such as cleaning the Buddha bathing platform, cleaning over 200 chairs, sweeping the floors, and preparing the venue at the temple. Additionally, they also serve as usher and help transport materials back to the Tzu Chi office after the ceremony. They are young, energetic, and committed. Their contributions brought the strength to the team, utmost gratitude to their support. Of course, our local volunteers were the key task force in planning and executing the major responsibilities across all functional teams such as invitation, transport, decoration of the Buddha bathing table, etc. Our utmost gratitude to each one of them who worked tirelessly and wholeheartedly to ensure the success of the event. So behind the scene, there was also tremendous support from overseas volunteers. We are deeply grateful to them as well. During the checkpoint meetings, everyone gathered to learn together and share insights and offer feedbacks. So actually there are like about 2 weeks plus time frame before the actual day of the Buddha bathing on the 11th of May. So after the event of the 59th anniversary completed on the 21st April, then the next activity or the major event is the Buddha bathing. So everyone was very excited on this. So during the checkpoint meeting, so overseas volunteers provided valuable guidance and accompanied the local leads in their respective teams, ensuring they were never alone in their responsibilities. Some local volunteers initially felt overwhelmed and unsure where to begin. However, with the ongoing support, patience, and encouragement from the overseas volunteers, they gradually gained confidence and were able to carry out their duties with growing assurance. I must say the local volunteers demonstrated great courage and determinations, especially considering that most had only been part of Tzu Chi India for just over 2 years or even less. There is no perfect solution to every task, but as long as we come together, communicate with mutual respect, and work in unity, we can accomplish great things. In Tzu Chi, the key lies in the unity, harmony, mutual love, and concerted effort. As Master Ching often reminded us, we should cultivate the fuel of blessing together by drinking the soup of unity, harmony, mutual love, and concerted effort. And there's this aphorism: do not underestimate yourself. Everyone has unlimited potential. Okay. So this is the media team, Taiwan and India. So this year we had the privilege of having 12 members from Taiwan media team on site for the Buddha bathing ceremony. So Brother Raymond actually encouraged the team to coordinate and mobilize the efforts to capture the dedication and contribution of each functional team, all led by our local volunteers. That's why you can see the many footprints documented in the earlier videos. This thoughtful approach not only maximized the use of available resources, and also ensure that everyone had the opportunity to cultivate the fuel of blessing through their wholehearted participation. Next, I would like to briefly go through each of the functional team. Let me start with the site planning at the reclining Buddha temple. So this is the rooftop area, which is only partially sheltered and with pillars. Okay, these are the pillars. As you can see, the wall here are not fully completed. So this one is actually inside here. So, and do you notice the green and red paths on the floor? So do you know what they are for? They are there to protect our feet from getting burned by the scorching floor under the intense sun. Shoes are not allowed in this temple, so all visitors and monastics walk barefooted. We are fortunate to bring our socks covered. Even so, it is still burning if we stand too long. Most of the volunteers were barefooted. During the summer, temperature can soar above 40 degrees Celsius. The rubber mat and the floor carpet actually provide much needed relief, allowing visitors to walk around and prostrate before the reclining Buddha statue more comfortably. Just have a thought. These rubber mats and the floor carpet serve as a metaphor for the Dharma. They protect us from harm, just as following the right path, the Bodhisattva path, enable us to stay focused on doing wholesome deeds that benefit others. If we do not abide by the correct principle, we can easily be influenced by the negative and turbid condition of the world, leading us to create unwholesome karma and ultimately experience suffering. Okay, so next we have the plan where the participants like villagers, students and monastic and guests will sit. So the Buddha bathing platform, the stage of the performance. So this one is the stage area for the sign language performance. Okay, as the weather is very hot, so it's suggested the participants should be sit under the shelter here. So the seating arrangement. So we divide into 3 sections, A, B, C. So all the participants should be facing the image of the Buddha. Okay, so this place here is suitable for the Buddha bathing. Okay. Next, here is the villagers will be sitting here. And the 52 monastics will be sitting on the chairs over at the platform here. And this is the overall layout at the rooftop and can accommodate 568 people. However, the students will be waiting at the level 1 before their performance. While they were waiting, the students will also perform Buddha bathing same time as the main Buddha bathing ceremony at the rooftop. So this is the detailed seating arrangement for section A, B, C, carefully designed based on measurements for each seat and taking into account the position of a pillar which is indicated by the blue dots. The number of the Buddha statue had to match the number of participants, ensuring that everyone could perform the Buddha bathing ritual. This layout was meticulously prepared by the program team. I'm sharing this to highlight the level of thoughtfulness and the precise planning they carry out. It was my first time serving as coordinator for the Buddha bathing, and I was truly impressed by the depth and the details of the team's preparation. And this is the indoor venue at level 1, where the 3 session will be held in the afternoon. And for the first floor, we have 26 rows and 9 packs for each row. Okay, now we come to the PA system setup and testing. So the PA system was a crucial component of the Buddha bathing ceremony. We were fortunate to have experts from Taiwan media team alongside with the local volunteers who set up the entire PA system for both live streaming and audio-visual support during the event. Testing was conducted promptly after the venue was confirmed to ensure everything runs smoothly. The temple actually already had a good PA system in place. We were truly grateful to Venerable Bhante Aryapal for allowing us to use it for this ceremony. And next, we come to the monastic invitation and rehearsal. So we have a dedicated functional team responsible for hospitality and inviting the monastics. For the past 2 years, rehearsal sessions were arranged in advance to ensure that the Buddha bathing ceremony will be conducted smoothly and appropriately. Venerable Bante Aryappa also kindly supported us by providing a full list of monasteries in Bodhgaya that enabled Tzu Chi to make informed decisions on the invitation, especially given the limited seating available, which was only 52 seats. So this rehearsal was held in a hotel. Okay, next we come to the villagers' invitation. So village invitation were performed by four teams. The 1V, 1C team, medical team, charity team, which target to invite the care recipient, and the education team. So every day, both local and overseas volunteers went out to the villages and schools to invite participants for the Buddha bathing ceremony. As shown earlier in the earlier videos, this was not easy task as over 90% of Indian population practices Hinduism. Despite the challenges, the volunteers did not give up. With sincerity and perseverance, they continued their outreach, hoping to plant seeds of loving kindness in the hearts of the villagers and to get to know Buddha's teaching. Okay, training participants on the Buddha bathing. So in the past 2 years of the Buddha bathing ceremony in Bodhgaya, the overall flow was not very orderly. So this year, Brother Raymond proposed a thoughtful solution to provide training for the participants who had signed up in advance. As a result, each day, 3 functional teams went out together for village outreach. The invitation team, the Buddha bathing training team, and the media team. With this new approach, the ceremony was noticeably more organized than in previous years. The volunteers gave their wholehearted effort, carrying out their respective duties with sincerity, dedication, and determinations. They also had to carry the crystal Buddha statue, which was quite heavy, and to set up the altar table at each invitation site. Truly great effort by our volunteers. Villagers' shoes area. Okay, this is really important. As the temple observes shoeless policy, no shoes in the temple, yeah? So villagers were required to remove their shoes before entering. With each session involving around 200 to 300 villagers arriving by bus, a key question arose. Where should they store their shoes and how could they retrieve them correctly afterward? Fortunately, the temple had a basement area that was identified as a suitable location for shoe storage. Local and overseas volunteers discussed the matter in detail and eventually arrived at a practical solution. Several considerations were taken into account. For instance, organizing the shoe according to bus number. This ensured that each villager could easily locate and retrieve their own pair of shoes, helping to prevent confusion and avoid any unnecessary inconvenience. Another important aspect was maintaining the cleanliness after the villagers removed their shoes to ensure their feet remain clean before entering the temple. So carpets were laid on the ground for them to step on after removing their footwear. This thoughtful arrangement not only provide comfort, but also help preserve the cleanliness of the temple environment. So you see, this is the basement, and they go down, and this is the place. So after they take off the shoe, this is the carpet that they should work on. And the volunteers here put a rope and then spread the white powder to make the section for the by bus number for the villagers to place their shoes. So if you can see here, so this is the place to put their shoes, and then they walk to the venue. Okay. Next, souvenirs preparation. So actually there were about 1,300 teddy bears were folded from the towels. So allow we also have the villagers to help fold these teddy bears. See, our teacher Reka here teach them how to fold. So this allow the villagers and the sewing class students to create good affinities with many peoples. Next, we come to the Buddha bathing outer table decoration. So the weather was very hot. Sister Alia, okay, Sister Alia here, who is in charge of the decoration, remained steadfast to carry out the responsibilities to decorate the outer table under the hot scorching sun and burning floor. Su Ching and local volunteers and overseas volunteers have supported her by providing shades and rubber mat on the floor. So actually it was very hot, but the volunteers insist that they should arrange it because the rehearsal will start after the arrangement. So you can see the volunteers here having umbrellas and some cloths to cover Sister Alia while she was doing the decorating the tables, the outer table. And Sister Hualien here also helping out. You see the rubber mat, the green color one, really helpful. Without this, it is hardly can stand. Everyone was jumping around without this rubber mat. Okay. Next is the flower arrangements. So, this year the flower arrangement was taught via Zoom meeting as Sister Michelle have to remain in KL to take care of her mother. So initially there were some miscommunications and challenges, and eventually the flower arrangement was successfully completed with the help of many volunteers. So you can see there are many volunteers here helping out to arrange 26 containers of flowers for 26 Buddha statue. So we done this at the first floor early in the morning. Not early in the morning, one day before in the evening. Okay. Very heartwarming to see all the volunteers working together like this. And meal times. So after the hard work setting up the venue, so we have meals in the temple. So we have 3 meals prepared by the temple. So dinner during the rehearsal, breakfast and lunch on the Buddha bathing day. With the Tzu etiquette, all volunteers queue up to get their meals. The food cooked by the temple were very delicious and fruits were very sweet, especially the watermelons. So see everyone enjoying and queuing up, and our volunteers serving the volunteers. Next, bus leader training. So every bus from the village will have a bus leader. Learning from past 2 years' experience, the bus leader was not clear on their role. Hence, this year, a training was scheduled for the bus leader to ensure that they know what they need to do when they arrive in the temple, such as going to the basement to keep the shoes at respective allocated space. So this is much needed. So this year, it was more organized. And deliver light breakfast for villagers. So villagers would come by bus early in the morning, and we have prepared light breakfast for them, such as mineral water and biscuits, so that their stomach is not empty and have more energy to attend the Buddha bathing. So as we will need to arrive early in the temple, so they have planned to deliver 1 day before the Buddha bathing this light breakfast to all the bus leaders in various villages. So we see so they give them the bus numbers and the mineral water and biscuits to the bus leaders. Very good planning. And next we come to the program planning. So we'll just briefly go through the program. So the program team actually walked through the program with Abode Master a few times before being approved. Really grateful to Abode Master to allocate time despite their busy schedule at Abode to advise us to have a dignified and graceful Buddha bathing ceremony in the Buddha land. So this is the schedule for the rehearsal. So early morning, 7 o'clock, they will have this sign language performance and live testing. And on the same day, we have many volunteers from the youth, Su Ching, and local and also overseas volunteers, the 84 packs, would be here to do the setup and cleaning. And these are the rehearsal that we're going to perform that was planned. So full rehearsal is planned at 4:20 p.m. And this is the schedule for the day, the Buddha bathing day on 11th of May. So we have to be there by 3:30 a.m. and prepare for the chanting of Sutra Infinite Meanings. And 4:30 is the online with Taiwan. Okay. So it was really a tight schedule. Okay, after online with Taiwan, then we'll have a breakfast, and then 6:30 we'll stand by for the arrival of guests. And 7 to 8 is the first session, the outdoor Buddha bathing. And you see after that the indoor Buddha bathing, the 3 sessions. So the volunteer must be on standby at appropriate place and time to ensure smooth flowing of Buddha bathing ceremony. Prayers. Okay. Next, so this is the schedule for the 6 to 7, the outdoor open air rooftop schedule. So at 7 a.m. the master, the Dharma master will come and then do the chanting. And then after that, the Dharma master will lead the Buddha bathing. So the prayers, the chanting here actually calms the mind of the participants and get ready for the Buddha bathing. So 30 minutes of Buddha bathing session for the participants, prayers, and then at the end we have sign language performance and big farewell to the Dharma master before they leave. And we have a simplified program for the indoor session, prayers, and after that followed by the Buddha bathing and sing the prayer song and dedication of merits. So on the day of the Buddha bathing, the Buddha day, so the residents, monks from the reclining Buddha temple and the bhikkhunis from Sangha Mitra Monastery join the live streaming with Hualien, Taiwan. So they come early in the morning at 4:30 a.m. to join. So this is all the 56 monastics who join the chanting at 7 a.m. And this is at the first level where all the students of reclining Buddha temple receiving the folded teddy bears. They were very happy. And this is a heartfelt words of Venerable Pratyadip. He's the Secretary General of All India Bhikkhu Sangha and the International Buddhist Confederation. So he said, upon seeing the enthusiastic participations of villagers in today's Buddha bathing ceremony, I sincerely thank the Tzu Chi Foundation. You not only promote the Dharma in the villages, but also in various corners of the society, allowing villagers who previously have no chance to hear the Buddha's teaching to come into contact with the Dharma. And the Buddha bathing for temple visitors. So as you see, the first floor, the rooftop, and there's one session, and the indoor venue, there are 3 sessions. Those are for invited participants for the Buddha bathing. And for the visitors from the temple, actually we have set up a table here for the visitors from the temple to also perform the Buddha bathing ceremony. So you can see our volunteers, local and overseas volunteers explaining to the visitors what is Buddha bathing and also guide them in the Buddha bathing ceremony as well. And there are quite a lot of visitors, about 400 plus visitors actually come for this walk-in Buddha bathing. And we have medical station as well, led by Sister Trisan. So there are students and also participants who are feeling dizzy, most likely due to not having enough breakfast. So and Sister Trisan also prepare ORS for all the volunteers, and also it benefited the visitors who have come to this temple. Kan'en to the medical team. So closing, end of the Buddha bathing. So this time, from the past 2 years, because this is the first time I joined the Buddha bathing, I understand that before the villagers, the volunteers, some of the volunteers would leave after the ending of the Buddha bathing, and very few actually stay back to clean up the things, returning back the things to the office. So this year it was different. Most of the volunteers who can stay back actually have helped to carry out the cleaning up of the things before sending to office. So it has lightened the burden. So all working in concerted effort. Okay. So it has lightened the burden actually. Otherwise, it is really a lot of work to carry the things and tidy up. Okay, let's watch this one. So working as a team, forming human bridge to transfer office with many volunteers in full race. See, everyone looks bright. Sorry, I have overshoot. Okay, so these are some of the photos. Key learning, have to interact with many people, have different view and ideas, may create conflicts, but do not take it personally. Being selfless, Tzi is a platform for spiritual training ground. Purify our mind and review our wisdom. Serve with pure mind and open heart by drinking the Tzi 4-ingredient spiritual soup. Contentment, gratitude, understanding, and forgiveness. Patiently continue to encourage, nurture, and support the local volunteers to shoulder responsibilities. And be grateful to everyone around us. Interact with respect and love. Applying Tzi facial cream, smile with sincerity to everyone. Many room of improvement for myself to be a better person, more spiritual cultivation. And these are some master's teaching from Tzi Ching Daily Wisdom. Tzi teachings are about implementing the spiritual concept of the Buddha in the world, loving all sentient beings in the world and giving without asking for anything. So this referring to the practicing of 6 paramitas in the Bodhisattva path. So Tzi is a spiritual training ground to purify our threefold karma, body, speech, and mind. Take action to do good deeds with our body, speech, speak good words, and thinking good thoughts. In the spirit of Tzi, everyone is united in love, and the energy of love spreads all over the world. So local volunteers and overseas volunteers united in love and go among the villages to spread the seeds of kindness and inspire each other in Tzi path and Bodhisattva path. Our faith must be of right view and understanding and in the right direction, and we must be open-minded and inclusive of all religion. We must have deep faith in Buddha and Master's teaching, right view, understanding, and walk on the right direction. The direction must not be deviated. Any deviation will lead us to go off track, wrong direction. In Bodhgaya Tzu, all the volunteers work harmoniously regardless of religion background. Cảm ơn for listening. Sorry for taking extra time. Cảm ơn.
Cảm ơn Sister Lily for the great sharing. I think it's a lot more meaningful, how meaningful it is to have the Buddha bathing ceremony in Bodhgaya, the place of enlightenment of the Buddha. So and also share with us the painstaking and the meticulous effort in Dijin practice.
Yeah.
Okay, so my apologies to Sharon, who's going to be sharing with us next for overrunning 9 minutes. So sister, you're still in Eswatini, I believe.
Yes, I am. I am in
And
Africa.
I know it's very early morning for you there.
1:45 in the morning, 1:50. Yeah.
And for those who may not know, Sister Sharon has been she's from Australia. She's based there for a fairly long time now, and doing a lot of great work in Eswatini, which is not formerly known as formerly known as Swaziland. So, Sister, you're reaching the unreached. We look forward to your sharing.
Yeah, thank you. And let me just share my screen.
A bit soft, Sister.
Oh yeah, can you hear me now?
A bit soft. I'm not sure if you can.
Get closer. Is it okay? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's a little bit better.
Little bit better, or is that cannot hear?
I
Are you
think
okay?
maybe you can go nearer to your mic, I believe.
Yeah, what about now? Can you hear me?
Okay, all right.
Now it's better. Sorry, I'm very close to the camera, but yeah, okay. I'll share now, okay? Yeah, thank you, brothers and sisters, for giving me the opportunity to share from Eswatini here. Today, my sharing topic is on the reaching the unreached, is how we in Eswatini, how we bring our love and care to communities through our mobile medical outreach. As you know, like in Eswatini, the African country, a lot of people are very poor, and to go to the hospitals or to get checkup, actually it is really not easy, because they don't have the transport money to start off with, and it could be very far, and people can walk up to 3 hours, 4 hours just to see a doctor. And also the medical is expensive. Yeah, they can't afford the medicine and so on. Now we have started medical outreach, mobile medical outreach in Eswatini since last year, and we have been doing from community to community, but we haven't done a big scales like this before, and this is a very big scales that we actually saw 2,700 patients in a period of few days. And to have this successful, actually, we collaborate with the Rotary Club, actually, because they can provide the dental care, where we can help with the medical care. So patients come in to see either the dentist or to see the doctor. So in Eswatini, alongside with the nourishments and the sharing of skills, we are able to really able to extend our heartfelt medical care, where we mobilize our compassionate volunteer doctors, nurses, and essential medicines to reach those in need and those who couldn't be reached. This area of Balangkane where we went to is actually is a very far area. We have to wake up like very early, like 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning to get ourselves ready to travel to this very far area, remote area where we see the patients. So over the course of 5 unforgettable days, our mobile medical clinic, in collaboration with other dedicated healthcare providers, we brought comprehensive service to the heart of Balangkane. And with compassion and dedication, we reach out to 2,073 patients, and we provide this essential care, including the dental services. But the dental this is 2,073 is just medical okay? And at this outreach, we have dental services, medical consultations, breast screening, x-rays, laboratory tests, diabetic care, TB tests, HIV testing, cervical cancer screening, and ambulance support as well. So together we collaborate, and which is a much better, more effective results, because as you see, these patients walk from very far and they don't have money and they are just in a remote area. So if they can come to one place and can see, have their x-rays done, have their, the cervical cancer screening done, HIV testing done, it is really, really means a big difference to them. As you can see here, this is our setup, and we have to use, because there's so many patients, we have to use the schools and the church to help us. You can see here the, so there are many patients with the outside. In the classrooms, we use it for the doctor's consultation room. And on the right, this is the dental room, and you can see this is the mobile cancer screening, and we have the ambulance as well as the police here to assist. So working alongside with so many devoted healthcare professionals and volunteers was both really humbling and inspiring, because we feel so united as by this shared mission to serve with kindness, empathy, and respect. This initiative was more than just providing medical care. It was actually about building the connections as well, offering hope to this, the patients, these people, and embracing the true meaning of love in action. You can see this is really love in action. And some of those patients, they arrived, they've been waiting since, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., just to make sure they can be seen by the doctor that day. So it is not easy. As you can see, there are so many patients. How did we do it? I mean, looking back, I don't even know how we did it, but we did it. Our volunteers, we were there to support, to help, to guide all these patients, from A to Z, basically, from the arrival to the dispensing of medicines. Yeah. And you can see children queuing up there as well, waiting to be checked. And on the children, they are more of dental. Yeah, for the adult patients, the rest of the pictures are all medical. So every smile we witness, every grateful thank you from the patient, really, and every moment we share with this local community really touch our hearts deeply, because you can see so many patients waiting, and our volunteer, our young students there, greeting them and say hello to them. And, they wait from, I tell you, from 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. till 5 p.m. to be seen. Because depending on the type of sickness or the specialist they need to see, so they all sit there patiently to wait. It is really, really not easy, huh? Even the mobilization of everything, from toilets to, the arrangement is a big plan that we did it together, and we did it, and we are very happy with that. So these 5 days were a journey of inner growth for ourselves as much as the mission of healing. Together, we strengthened our own teamwork, developed our skills, and grew in perseverance, leadership, and the ability to care with boundless compassion. As we see, every patient who came, they really are a lot of elderly as well, and disabled and so on. So like this wheelchair on the right, actually the wheelchair didn't work at all. You can't even push. So basically our volunteer had to lift up the whole wheelchair and carry the person. It's just like a chair to carry the patient because he couldn't walk. So Master Chen Yin said, nothing is impossible with faith, perseverance, and courage. And that's what we were. We were very determined, and that we can do it. So this patient you can see our volunteer carry the patient like a piggyback, and because there are so many patients a day, 500 patients a day, so from one position from the registration area, which is at the church, to the classroom area where the doctor's consultation area is, like you have to climb up the hill, which is uneven surface, which is really not easy, but we have no choice because that is the only available spots that we have. So our volunteers really did a great job by carrying patients around. Each day we begin at 6 a.m. as we prepare to meet the long lines of patients seeking care. I put here 6 a.m., but a lot of us actually started at 4 a.m. because even our volunteers came from far themselves. Some of them live at the border of South Africa, and some live at the border of Mozambique, and they travel all the way to be in one place where we chartered a combi, or we call it a van, to transport our volunteers to this hard to reach area, remote area. So our commitment to serve meant we work late until towards the evening, until every patient is seen. We are the last to go, really, and return home. And by the time we reach home, it's like 8 or 9 p.m. But we have to energize ourselves for the next day. But despite the long hours, we felt energized by the knowledge that we were making a difference in the lives of so many. So since many elderly community members are immobile and unable to travel easily for medical care, that's why we have this mobile medical outreach, because we brought our doctors to their community to ensure they receive the care that they need. And we are very lucky. We almost have almost 20 volunteer doctors taking turns. As you see, each day we see 500 patients roughly, and we have shifts for the doctors, and 5-6 doctors at a time. The elderly patient here, as you can see, was unable to walk, and we only have the wheelbarrow. So we transport the patients with the wheelbarrow, using the wheelbarrow to see the doctors, up the hill there, using the wheelbarrow. Now, using the wheelbarrow is actually very practical. In some ways, it is more practical than the wheelchair. Like in this uneven surface, to push a wheelchair with 4 wheels is really hard. With the wheelbarrow, you see this brother, he just lift up the wheelbarrow and push the wheelbarrow where the elderly lie there. So it is common, of course, like in Malaysia or in Australia, you wouldn't see that we push wheelbarrow patient in the wheelbarrow, but in Africa, it is not uncommon. And if you have a wheelbarrow, it is a very, very good thing to have. You can push the patient, yeah. So this 60-year-old disabled patient was brought in by his sister-in-law to see the doctor after experiencing a year-long decline in his ability to walk. So along with the loss of movement and taste, stiffness, he slowed his movement. So he has trouble with balance. So our volunteer carried him all the way to see the doctor, as you can see here. So during his visit to the clinic without a wheelchair, he basically dropped off without a wheelchair. So we carry from the car to the registration, and then to the clinic to see the doctor, to the consultation area.
Elizabeth, we need to get in. Elizabeth, we need to get in. What we get your
So it is not easy. But in this case, as you see, he actually have his vital sign check, blood pressure, and we did a scan, because we also have the scanning facilities where we collaborate with them. We ask them to come in the van. So we perform a scan. We did the test and X-ray as well at the same spot. So we do have, like I say, with the collaboration, it's really good because we have all the facilities at one place. It's like the whole hospital is there, we set up the whole hospital there basically, right? And then the doctor refer him. In this case, he actually, after the test results came out, and he has to be seen by a neurosurgeon. And we are very, very lucky that day, because we have a volunteer neurosurgeon who was there, happened to be there on that day volunteering with us. So we took him to see the neurosurgeon. So we also piggyback him and carry him to the neurologist, who conducted another further thorough examination and test. Now, this is the sister-in-law. The patient's sister-in-law was really grateful that day, because she said that within a day, they were able to receive diagnosis and learn ways to help him manage his condition so that he can improve his quality of life, because he is the degeneration of the, So So we also give him this support cushion because our volunteers make these support cushions from of cards and so on. And this is a way of us showing our love and care to him. And he was really overjoyed, hugging the cushion tightly and give us a big smile and a way of saying gratitude, his gratitude. Yeah, he was grateful for the whole event that we, you know, we that we could help him. So we have many doctors, and we are grateful to many doctors who have joined us in this remote area, because even the doctors have to come, you know, from far away, volunteering their time and expertise to assist those in need. And some of these doctors flew in from South Africa, you know, to help at the event of these 5 days. So we are very grateful. So you see, to reach the unreached, you know, like Marshall says, if they can't come to us, we need to go to them. Yeah, so this is what we do. So in every room, we maximize the room and we have like in one room we put actually two doctors there, you know, 2 different table, consultation table, and even the screen, you see, we actually borrowed from there's a prison close by, so we also borrowed the screen from the prison, and the chairs we transport ourselves and so on, and some of the facilities we use the school's facilities to help us, you know, to make it a successful, a meaningful, purposeful outreach. We also did the HIV test. We Sergi, we have volunteers who selflessly, you know, volunteer themselves, nurses, and so on. So we are grateful. So in addition, in support to this good cause, we also managed to arrange with the hospitals to have these optometrists to come, ophthalmologists, I should say, to come and with their machines, actually with their equipment. So actually, because of the ophthalmologist equipment, they couldn't just, you know, just transport, because we are far away in the remote area, as you can see. Actually, they came in by helicopter. So I'm just very, very touched that everyone is willing to go a bit further to make sure that this event is a successful event. And the hospitals willingly donate the glasses for those who are in need. So we are very grateful to everyone's commitment and dedication. And you can see this is our team is getting more and more experience. The first day we didn't expect that many people come. We actually were almost in shock when we saw like 500, you know, that, you know, so many 100 patients waiting. So we try to learn to make it, you know, run smoothly, so that when people come, there's no, you know, obstacles or bottleneck, you know, in the registration area. So we train our own volunteers. These are our own students. Actually, a lot of them are quite young too, you know, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, and to take down the vital signs and like the hospital's details that we have to get the information from the patients. So we started by focusing our efforts on registration, then gradually transition our team members to assist with the consultation. You know, as the registration ease, once it's all, almost everyone registered, we move our teams to, like, you know, some of them go to the consultation area, because there's where the congestion starting to, you know, at first is the registration area, then the consultation area, and the last one will be the medicine dispensing area. So here you can just have a feel of our experience with become more efficient now. We know how to run the hospitals almost like in Taiwan, you know. So to register themselves, if you don't have a proper system to do the registration, everyone, you know, they'll be jumping queue and so on, you know, won't be happy. So here volunteers then guide patients. We direct them to the medical doctors, testing areas, and pharmacy dispensaries, as you can see. So yeah, they are all, whenever and wherever there's a need, you can see our volunteers are there to assist. And then here is this this pharmacies area, and our volunteers also help, you know, in dispensing medications Of course, we need lots of volunteers. We are lucky to have a clinic close by where they also have some nurses that they happily, assist us as well with the medicine dispensing. This dynamic teamwork has not only allowed us to care for more patients, but also deepen our own understanding of different illnesses, treatments, and most importantly, the art of patient care. Yeah, I learned so much about medicine, and I never thought that I would learn so much, but now I do. And the common type of sickness that is affecting people in Africa. As we prepare for another day, another busy and fulfilling day ahead, we do so with full of hearts. Yeah. So break down of the day by day. You see, day 1 we saw 404 patients. Day 2 416. Day 3, when we reached day 3, we thought that there will be lesser. There won't be that many patients today because we have seen so many already. Then we saw 470, and then today is the highest 470. I'm sure tomorrow won't be that many. Then day 4 is 513 patients. And day 5 we are supposed to hold for 4 days, but then because there's still so many patients, so we run for half a day on day 5, which we saw 270 patients. So altogether we saw 2073 patients. Yeah. And we also learned that the most common ailments include, a lot of them are sores, rashes across the body, itchiness affecting both adults and children, and the whole family actually very, very, very itchy. So adults frequently reported body pain, particularly in hips, along with knee pain, swollen feet, itchy rashes, and cases of infected scabies. So understanding this is very important because then we can prepare the right medicines, enough medicines that we need to carry with us to treat all these sickness. So with each medical outreach, the knowledge and experience we gain help us better prepare by knowing which common medicines to carry with us. And we are grateful that we have the opportunity to learn. As the days at the clinic extend into the evening, we recognize many of our young patients were arriving after school. So the young one arrived at school often hungry and fatigued. So we also prepare some sandwiches for these children. And on the final day, you see, every day we actually pack up and clean. So we are the last one to go after and we work hand in hand at the facility, cleaning it before the next day. So we are truly grateful for this beautiful opportunity to serve and to be reminded that when we act with love, no challenge is too great and no act of kindness is ever too small. And because of our relationship with the doctors are so good, they're all willing to volunteers, we actually made these support cushions for hospital patients as well. So our medical outreach didn't even stop there. We continue on with our patient support cushion. And since we started, we already collected over 1,300 kg of waste fabric that is equivalent to replanting 300 trees, to offset the carbon emissions. But we did more than that already. I think now we're up to 2,000 kilograms. And with this offcast, we take it to the center, we share it with our volunteers, and we make the cushions at the centers. As you see, these are all offcuts, very small pieces of materials. But with the heart, if you want to do, you can do it. We repurpose these materials into support cushions for patients, in which we also involved all our Su Ching children. As you can see, we cut the materials, but the children can all do the stuffing. You see, they stuff the materials in, and every bit of this, you see this bag on the left-hand side here, this child, and you can see that he's pulling out a lot of these really shredded kind of offcuts. The small offcuts, we use it as a stuffing, and he put it in as the stuffing for the cushions for patients. Yeah. And even in the communities, we encourage everyone to do so. And when we see the patients, this is really a lot of blessings and love put in from little people to us, volunteers, or shared love to be shared with the patient at the hospital. What we began as a scraps of fabrics has now become something much more, and we made 136 patient support cushions there, with each lovingly crafted by many hands across our community. And every stitch tells a story of compassion, unity, and hope. So here we are, we are thankful to the doctors who came to help at our outreach. And here we are, we want to give back. So we go back to the hospitals where all the doctors are. And this is the Nazarene hospitals, one of the hospitals where we have lots of the doctors helping us. And we give cushions to the patients there. So even from the moment we arrived, we were greeted with warmth and kindness from this hospital. And the CEO came and really give a thank you speech to Su Ching volunteers. So medical officers expressed their heartfelt gratitude for our selfless spirit of our volunteers. And Mr. Mavuzo shared how our compassion and love brought not just physical comfort, but emotional support, offering patients a sense of hope, care, again, and connection during the most vulnerable moments. Yeah. So as you see, every cushion is actually of different sizes and different shapes and look. It's not easy to make it standardized size because this is all from each volunteer's heart, So whatever they make is okay, because it is made out of love. So it is the sincerity, and this is a woman with sincerity and a message that they are not alone for the patients, that somehow, somewhere, someone out there cares deeply for them. So you see, we walk into the cancer ward, the male and female wards, the children wards, and to distribute these cushions. As SG volunteers, and you see, we are all very well behaved, and then we all line up, awaiting our turns to go into the consultation or to the ward itself. As this is a hospital, not everyone go in, so we take turns, 5, 6 volunteers go in at one time. So we were humble and moved as we handed each cushion directly to the patients. As you can see, all these patients, some of them have no visitors at all, and then they are very sick, right? So seeing us, they are very happy and hug our volunteers, holding us, some of them with tears in their eyes, as if to hold on to the love within the cushion. So you see, so this is not just for the patient, actually, it's really good for our volunteers as well, because we feel good because now we can do something. Though we are poor, but our heart is not poor. We are rich in heart because we have so much love to share with others, because giving is not just about money, it's about our time and our love and our hearts and our own self, our love to the patients. That moment of human connection, so pure and genuine, will stay with us forever. From ward to ward, from patient to patient, we brought one more smile to those in need of comfort, as you can see. Life is impermanent, I must say, but love is boundless. While we are blessed with a healthy body, we must seize every moment to selflessly share our care and love with others. In this, we also have our students to take part in spreading love. We encourage them because they are also the one who did the stuffing, and also some of them can make the cushions as well. So to personally go out, we take them to personally go out and hand out the support cushion to patients themselves. Because when they do it and they hand it out themselves, then suddenly there is this power, the strength inside them, inner self, to say that, yes, I can do it. I can make a difference to people's life. And it's not much hard work. I can do it. So everyone is not, don't always think that you're poor. Actually, you're very rich inside you. That's the message we give to our volunteers. So this effort was the fruit of true teamwork and love in action. And we are very deeply grateful for the opportunity to give without asking anything in return, for the compassion and gratitude we witness and receive, and for the incredible spirit of teamwork and unity that carry us through in every step. So, Dan An, I won't take too much of the time, so that you have any questions, you can share, and and thank you for listening to my sharing. Any question you can ask, I should say.
Sister, I know I hear so much from you over the past few years. And I don't know how can you stay there so long? I mean, do you get a visa to stay there for continuously?
Yeah, it is. I am with Su Ching. Yes, I have visa to stay here. Yeah. Because now I'm also we're doing a lot here, so we have to of course put our reasons why I'm here. And actually I'm the only Huaren. I'm the only Huaren 在这里. So I got to report back to master to Taiwan, of all the activities in Su Ching. So running the whole organization as well. So and I think they can at least give one Su Ching person here to to look after all the local volunteers, because the rest of them are local. So I'm the only one that is not local.
Okay. And do you get a break to go back to Australia?
Christmas time, maybe after Christmas. Yeah, Christmas, New Year. Yes.
I'm seriously, sister, I'm amazed by your effort and your dedication. Going to, and quite rightly you pointed out, reaching the unreached, and like the great word, absolutely a role model for all of us.
We try our best, because in country in Africa, it's just really hard, because everyone is a lot of poor people. And really now with the recent with the aid, the stop of aid from US, actually there's so many patients. Like last week, 2 weeks ago, sorry, we ran another clinic, which we thought just only 100 people, because we only set it for a few hours, but we have 227 people waiting to see us, and the doctors work until evening, like past the time, because everyone wants to come and get some medicine. Yeah.
Okay, Kaplan sister, so much. It must be about 2:20 a.m. For you. And I think you need to go to bed. All right. Okay. All right. So we will end this session now, and Kaplan, so much for all the great sharing. And all right. So let's take another photo. Sister Effie will do that. So can some of you who are not here earlier, can you turn on your video? And let's have a photo with Sister Sharon.
Hi, Sister Hilda, Sister Irene, Sister Su Ching. Hold on,
哇 ，sister， 无限感恩哦 ，so powerful sharing, very touch， 真的是。
Hey, Sister
sister for staying up until in the morning.
Sharon, most inspiring sharing 感恩。
感恩哦，very
brother.
touch. 感恩 brother Chi for the wonderful hosting.
Okay,
all the
then
great sharer.
photo done. All right. Okay. So as we end this session, we'll offer 3 bows to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. So all rise. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. We now offer a bow to our board masters. Bow. All right, brothers and sisters, y'all have a good good weekend, and another good week ahead. All right, I'll see you all again next week.